definitely know that because of the weather. It's a bit showery and cold out there, very much autumn weather, even though August hasn't even finished yet. The summer's over and students are back in the classroom. Yes, they are. And Ken Gillies, a teacher from the Baden Elementary School, joins Allison Fleming tonight to talk about developing good study habits at a very early age.
For starters, Ken, I would like to find out if it's important to have your child at an early age pick up a few study habits.
Well, Alison, I think it is important for the younger children when they enter school. I think you have to look at the purpose of homework and why there is a need for homework. And I would like to explain to parents when they have young children entering school that homework does help build a bridge between the children's life in school and out of school. And that the parents can help by discussing the schoolwork and helping link the learning to the real life. There are many, many activities parents can use of an incidental or casual nature, and they provide parents with some guidelines as to how they can really help their child in a sort of non-homework way. For example, if you want to help develop motor coordination, swimming, skipping, dodgeball, beanbag throwing, puppets, raking the grass, digging the garden, painting, making cookies with a cookie cutter. Those are all examples where you're helping your child develop motor coordination. Developing auditory skills. Have your child answer the telephone, take messages or numbers. For example, Mom, please phone Mrs. Smith at 05163. Running errands, going to the freezer and bringing back a package of carrots and beans, or listening to the radio station for the weather forecast or the temperature and keeping a record of such on a calendar.
So what you're saying is this isn't necessarily learning the ABCs and pulling out the books.
No, that's true. There are lots of activities that parents can do with their kids, the younger children, that don't have to appear like hard work. Because I think one of the things that parents come to us as teachers and they say, how can I help my child learn? And especially with the younger children, how can I help my child learn to read? And for me, the emphasis in teaching young children to read should be on home play as opposed to home work. And I'd like to elaborate on that, Allison. If you let the reading activities become hard work for your child is going to quickly lose interest. And what we will accomplish is that your child will learn that reading is hard work and it's boring. And we are basically ensuring that he's on his way to developing a negative attitude that may last a lifetime, and we certainly don't want to see that. So I think when parents try to work with their children, if they stay relaxed and keep the emphasis on enjoying the activity and enjoying, say, informal reading activities, you'll help your child learn that to learn to read is enjoyable and that attitude may stay with him the rest of his school life and the rest of his life.
So what you're saying is don't send your child into the rec room or his bedroom with a stack of books and a timer and say, come out in 2 hours. Once you've read these books or once you've read these assignments, whatever.
That's true. One of the important things for parents to understand, and I always try to emphasize this, please read aloud to your children. And many parents have asked me, well, I do that occasionally. I would suggest try to read each night. Your child is going to learn more from this than you will think. They're going to learn some very, very important things about the reading process. They're going to learn how language sounds when it's read in a normal, fluent manner. They're going to learn how to predict meaning. They're going to learn how to summarize meaning. And they'll also learn that reading allows them to get information about things that interest them. When you take your child and you think, I'd like to read to them, but I don't know what, allow the children to select reading material. Many parents have said to me, oh, but they come back and the material's way too hard. They can't read it. The parents have a choice here. You can read to your child, you can read with them, and you can help them read silently with you. Read to your child if he can't read the material. He has selected the material because he is interested in it. He should be interested in hearing you read to him. make sure you read at a normal pace. A few things to remind your child when you are sharing this experience is to tell them to have you stop when they don't understand, or ask a question if they need to. If the book has chapters, stop at the end of each chapter and ask your child to describe in his own words what has happened in the story. And one important thing for all grades, and I think a lot of teachers will verify that they do this, use the prediction skill, which encourages the children to take part. Ask him what he thinks will happen next, and then ask him why he thinks so. You're involving him in the reading, and you are doing so much for your own child and hopefully encouraging him to listen to good literature.
But I can understand the reading end. I think that's an interesting part for children. But what about when it comes down to things like learning your ABCs and counting? Isn't that just repeating yourself, doing it over and over and over again? Repetition with mom and dad, with your sister or brother. A, B, C, D, E, just over and over again.
Yes, you're very, very correct. There is a lot of repetition, but again, if you think in terms of home play, build some fun aspect into the activity. There are many ways you can take a very dry, drill-oriented routine and change it into a fun activity. And it doesn't have to be for a long time. Lots of teachers have suggestions of things that you can do to vary when you're studying your arithmetic facts, or vary the activities when you're studying, say, word lists that the kids are trying to learn to commit to memory. There are lots of different ways to approach it, and certainly if you were to ask your child's teacher if they can give you some suggestions, I'm sure that they could give you many, many suggestions on how to vary it for a short period of time each night.
Thanks very much for talking with us.
Thank you, Alison.
That was Alison Fleming talking with Ken Gillies from the Baden Elementary School about teaching your children some good study habits. A great interview. Thank you very much, Alison, and thank you, Ken.